Let's talk about Germany's top 10. And number 1 is really beautiful, but let's start with number 10, which is the top of the world, or at least in Germany, the Zugspitze, which is Germany's tallest mountain with 2,962 meters. And I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say, Flo, I'm on vacation. I don't wanna walk up there. I don't wanna hike up there. Are you insane? I get you. And you don't have to. There's actually cable cars that take you all the way up there. It's breathtaking, it's mind-blowing, really, really beautiful, and hence our place number 10. Because it's gonna get so much crazier. Number 9 is the Black Forest, which kinda sounds like a fairy tale. And when you were young, you probably heard a Brothers Grimm fairy tale story, like Hansel and Gretel, Rapunzel, Sleeping Beauty. I mean, Disney made tons of movies, out of these stories. And the Black Forest is what inspired a lot of those stories. And it is literally bordering France in the southwest of Germany, and it's huge. It covers 11,100 square kilometers of just dense, evergreen forest, beautiful lakes, waterfalls. Really, really worth it. Our place, number 9. Cologne, which is home of chocolate, beer, and a famous cathedral. So, you don't need anything else. The Cologne Cathedral really dominates the skylines, and it's kind of like the spot and the stuff you see on pictures when you see pictures about Cologne. There's a famous Cologne chocolate museum. I don't know what I have to say more about that. German chocolate is pretty awesome. And another thing that's really big there is beer. There's a lot of brewery tours, and Cologne is very famous for Kölsch, which is their typical beer there. It's like this size. It's like, in the south, we would say we would pee in that, but it's still worth going there and trying it. It's really good. Sorry, my Cologne friends. Sorry. One thing Cologne is absolutely famous for is the carnival. You are in for a ride when you're there during this time. Dresden, which is in the east of Germany, and the east has kind of a bad rep, but it's really worth going. And the cool thing is that, for example, the Czech Republic is literally just a few kilometers or miles, for all my American friends, away. So you can feel, like in Eurotrip.
$1.83 American. What are we gonna get with that?
I had to do that joke. But yeah, Dresden is really worth it because it was once known as Germany's jewel box, for its really beautiful architecture. Then we all know what happened. World War II, literally everything was bombed, but they rebuilt it, and it's now again really beautiful, worth a visit, and definitely a cool spot to really explore the other eastern places, also like Leipzig, another cool town. Dresden, amazing, our place, number 7. Number 6, we go back to the south, Lake Constance. Just look at this. This should be reason enough to convince you. The lake is in a really cool location. It is bordering Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. There is something for everyone. There's a nature, for the nature lovers. Beautiful lake cities like Linda, where you can just stroll around, enjoy the calm and relaxed atmosphere. And for all the adventure seekers, people like me, who just can't get enough. Kidding. There is lots of water sports, so you can just go on the water, canoeing and all the other stuff. But the best thing there is literally the view of the Alps from the shoreline. That alone is worth it. Look at us, we are already halfway through. We are being pretty efficient. We are talking about Germany, so we kind of have to be efficient here, right? So yeah, if I convinced you that Germany has some okay spots, show us some love with that subscribe button. Place number 5, Munich, which is one of the biggest cities in Germany and home of the Bavarians. That's the guys that look like this. And it's a cool city, filled with bars, museums, old churches, and of course, beer gardens. Because this is the beer capital of Germany. One of the most famous festivals in the world, the most famous beer festival, Oktoberfest, is celebrated here. And if you want to be a local, don't call it Oktoberfest, call it Wiesn. It's between 16 to 18 days, and it attracts more than 6 million crazy beer-seeking people. It's really mayhem here. So if you want to come during that time, make sure you book in advance because it's not easy to find a place to stay. Now, if you say, hey, I want to do other things than just, chug beer all the time. Marienplatz, which is like the main square, is really nice, where you can explore Munich and see a lot of the old architecture, and definitely check out the English Garden, which is like this huge park in the middle of the city, and there you will find the sun seekers, but also the Munich surfers. Yeah, there's surfers here. Okay, we're getting close to our top 3. Number 4 is Hamburg, which is the second largest city in Germany, and it's close to the North Sea. And because of that, there's an important port. Who would have thought? And there's so many ships, so many vessels coming and going. It's really mesmerizing. Like, I would just love, to sit there and just watch it the whole day, because there's so much stuff going on. But I can't, because, I'm German. I have to be efficient. I can't just sit there. But you can. So while in Hamburg, you definitely got to check out, the huge port and also the area around it, because there's some really old preserved warehouses, which A, look really cool, the architecture is stunning, and B, they transform them from those, old warehouses to concert halls, shops, restaurants, museums. Really cool to see. Okay, top 3, drum roll please, because our place number 3 is Berlin. And I always say it doesn't really feel like Germany because it's so different. I mean, I'm from the south, from Munich. If I go to Berlin, I get a culture shock because it's just completely different. First of all, it's hip, it's cool, it's like the capital for art, fashion, design, startups. There is so much stuff going on there, and there's so much weird stuff going on there. It's just a crazy city. It's still quite affordable if you compare it to other places in Germany. There's also a lot of historical sites in Berlin, the Berlin Wall, the Brandenburger Gate, Checkpoint Charlie, the Jewish Museum. So really worth staying a while, staying for the weekend. And the cool thing, if you stay for the weekend, you can also try to get into the hardest club in the world, the Berghain, which is a techno club, and they didn't let me in. I really don't understand why. I mean, come on.
That's fine, you had a true Berlin experience as well, and the more you try, the easier it gets.
From the capital of Germany, we go into a really small town in the south, Rottenburg ob der Tauer, which really feels like you've stepped into a fairy tale book. And who doesn't want to live in a fairy tale? I mean, look at this, it's crazy, and it's not an amusement park, it was not just built to look pretty. People actually live there. That's an actual village. The buildings really well preserved, and among them is the church St. Jacob's, which is one of the finest churches in Germany. Now, these are all beautiful places, but they don't top our number 1. And if you want to see more beautiful places of Germany with relaxing music, just check out the link in the description for our video on our other channel. But enough of that, let's get to the place number 1. You've seen it before in Disney movies. Neuschwanstein. And it's the inspiration for the Sleeping Beauty castle. And I mean, look at it, it's beautiful, it's crazy, and it really looks like that. This is not edited and stuff, it really looks like that. It's located in the south, in the Bavarian Alps, and it really is one of the most popular places here in Germany and in Europe, and it's kind of like the crown jewel of German castles. It was built by Ludwig II, the King of Bavaria, in 1869. And fun story, the king ran out of money. The grotto. Yeah, the king had a grotto in his castle. Who doesn't want a grotto? And if you want to see more comparisons, check out our video about, for example, the most expensive countries in the world. The first 2 are really crazy expensive.